Welcome to Not in a Huff with Jackson Huff, where we interview newsmakers, storytellers, and all-around interesting people. Sit back, relax, unless you're driving, and enjoy the show. Here's Jackson.
Hello. I am Jackson Huff. This is Not in a Huff. Thanks for joining me. As always, really appreciate it. This week, really powerful conversation. I am speaking with Lee Wong. Now, you may not know his name, but you've probably seen the viral video that he is in. He's going to talk to us about Asian hate and Asian discrimination. It's certainly not a new issue. We've faced it kind of here in the last few years when it comes to COVID-19 and some of the crazy misconceptions on all of that. He's going to talk about how people within the Asian community has dealt with it for a long time, whether it was the Japanese internment camps back during World War II, whether it's the Chinese Exclusion Act, whether it was some of the discrimination back in the 70s when more foreign cars, especially from Japan, were being brought to the United States and how that angered some people. He's going to tell us about his experience with discrimination as someone who is Asian American. Now, let's talk about this viral video. He is a member of the township board, the township council, and you're going to see, I believe council is probably not even the exact right word. He's a trustee, and he's going to talk about what that even means, what a trustee is, all that kind of stuff. But it was in a trustee meeting, a township meeting a couple years ago where he started talking about the discrimination that he has faced. He was in his 60s at that time, and the discrimination that he has faced since he came to the country, some 40 plus years before that. The very interesting thing was he talked about how people have questioned his patriotism because he wasn't born in the United States. And the crazy part of all of it is he served in the U.S. military. And he talks about how, these people question his patriotism when he's shown, some extreme patriotism. And then he takes off his dress shirt and shows the scars that he has on his body, which are relatively major scars because of his service, and just the kind of the absurdity of questioning his patriotism when he's shed blood for our country. So it was just a very powerful video. That's why it went viral. It really elevated the conversation of Asian discrimination and the hate that has been around for a long time. Obviously, there's discrimination of everyone that doesn't quite look like you or think like you or act like you. And this is just one area too. And we're going to talk about, I think this is a timely conversation. We're going to talk about the country, and we're always looking to improve. We're not always getting everything right. It's just we need to be active. We need to think about the issues, think about the things that we've gotten wrong, and act on them. No matter what side of things you are, just be passionate about your beliefs and move towards creating a better country for sure. I really appreciated Lee's time. We're going to kind of get to why he decided to speak at that trustee meeting, take some time out of their normal scheduled meeting. He's going to talk about things that he thinks that we can do to improve discrimination as a whole, especially towards the Asian community. Powerful conversation, really impressive guy, really powerful words. I really appreciated his conversation. I really appreciate just him sharing with us. So without further ado, here is Lee Wong. I'm here today with Lee Wong. Mr. Wong, how are you?
Fine, thank you.
Yeah, well, we've got a lot of different things to cover, a lot of really impactful things to cover. But before we do that, if you would just introduce yourself.
I'm Lee Wong. I'm currently the 5-term trustee of Westchester, Ohio. It is the largest township in the state. And I'm also the chairman of the Midwest USA Chinese Chamber of Commerce. I hold other titles, work as national spokesman for Chinese American Heritage Foundation based in Boston.
You're very involved, and I want to kind of break down things because I don't expect my listeners to know much of anything. Definitely when it comes to government structure. What's it mean to be part of a trustee council rather than like a city council? Because obviously your trustee council meeting is something we're going to talk about here in a second. So
right.
How does that make it? How's that different?
Well, a township is run by 3 trustees in Ohio. There's no council, and it's by 2 votes majority. We are publicly elected officials, and there are 3 mayors here. So it's 2 votes majority. Gotcha. It's a very simple government. It was set up for 5,000. Now we have 65,000, but people want it that way. The advantage is there's no earnings tax or city tax, you call that.
Oh, that is a big advantage for sure. What kind of set the scene of where you're located in Westchester? Tell us a little bit about Westchester.
Yes, I'm located in Southwest Ohio, just north of Cincinnati, outside the Hamilton county line, actually 19 miles from downtown Cincinnati to Westchester. And Westchester has 35 square miles in size. And we have 3,600 business here, 32 foreign companies. And we are it is one of the top 7 times rated by Money Magazine as a best place to live in America, and number 1 in doing business. And we are only second to job creation to Cincinnati.
That's a huge accomplishment. Yeah. And you said that you've been reelected a bunch of times. So I think some of that can be attributed to you. So that's really, really awesome for sure.
Thank you. I've been reelected 5 times as a top vote getter.
There you go. And that's important too. We're going to talk obviously here in a moment about your military service. But before we get to that, let's talk about currently what made you get into kind of civilian public service.
Well, it started off, I didn't come to this country to get into public service. I came over here in 1970, fresh out of high school, landed in Chicago, 18 years old. And I had a dream of going to be a pharmacist. I thought I got it made. My parents were dead when I was 12 years old. I'm basically an orphan. There's no place for me to go back to. So I came from Malaysia now. It used to be British Borneo. So I thought, well, I got myself to a U.S. school and done pretty good in Chicago, and just study hard, get my pharmacist degree, got a bonus signing at that time. But the path is never straight. I found out that 2 years into the program, I was attacked in the streets of Chicago. They thought I was Japanese, this man. And at that time, you must understand, in 72, there was a lot of anti-Asian, also anti-Japanese, particularly because of Toyota taking over Detroit. Hey, the man that attacked me didn't ask me, are you Chinese or are you Japanese? He just attacked me of the way I look, this face. So that put me to the emergency room. Police was called. He was not arrested, but got a citation to appear in court. While in court, he still called me racial slur, slanted eye, all you can think of. To my surprise, he got 1 year of non-reporting probation. That was it. And that really confused me about America. When I got here, I thought this is the most civilized country. We have justice for all, police and all that, democracy. Well, I quickly found out it's neither swift, fair, nor just, our system. So that was a trajectory for the change of my career. My grade was failing, but one day, anyway, I was still in college and working 2 jobs. And Army recruiter showed up, asked, hey, what do you want to be? And stupid me, I say, I want to become a cop. Revenge. No one wants to hire this face in Chicago at that time. Anyway, he said, hey, how about the military police? I'll get you in tomorrow. Wow. You know what he did to me? He gave me a MP armband. You know, that my bicep felt like 6 inches bigger right away. He said, I'll pick you up tomorrow. Let's go take a test. Of course, I passed it with flying colors and got in the Army, shaved my head, put a green uniform. You're in the Army now. There's only 2 colors, they told me, green and red. Greens are uniform, red is our blood. I knew that I messed up. I let that man into my head. So I reshifted in the military, take advantage of the free educational system. I done very well from military police, and I applied for U.S. Army CID. That is the FBI of the Army. I got it. And I like it so much. I learned a lot from the military about leadership, be, no, do, and even there's politics in the Army. So I like it so much, I stayed 20 years. I say to myself, when I get out, retire, I'm going to make whatever the community I live in a better place than I found it. This is why I get involved in that dirty word, politics, today. So I've been elected since 2005 and took office in 2006. And so far, I still like what I'm doing. And I think I'm doing a pretty good job I think the people validate me by their votes, the top vote always. For sure. Even though I am, it is a 96% Caucasian community, but that makes no difference. I just do what is right for the people of my township, and they know it. Yeah. I'm for real. I'm out there.
Yeah,
this is where I am.
And you're an amazing guy from what I can hear too. The thing that kind of strikes me of the beginning of your story, you know, obviously your military service plays a big part in why we're speaking. You talked about how, you know, getting attacked, you know, being discriminated against and being attacked kind of made you shift what your original plans were, and that you kind of seen that America, you know, America lost a little bit of its sparkle at that point, given some of the people who make up the country. What made you, I guess, decide after kind of America not really doing a whole lot for you to think that, hey, I want to maybe shed some of the little bit of that red and a little bit of that blood for a country that isn't really doing a lot for me at that moment? That's the first thing I would think, but you took it a different way.
That's right. I jump in. I do not want to become a victim. Mm-hmm. I want to be a victor. Mm-hmm. When I get out, I'm going to move forward, not instead of looking back. Oh, pity me. I want to win. I want to do something for the community. But sure, I break the bamboo ceiling, but they are still, ceiling is just a little higher now. But I still encounter people in this community, not in the county, that in the last few years, especially, that they have a very narrow definition of patriotism. It is very narrow, exclusive, and hate-filled abomination for racism. They are not patriot to me. I always say patriot is in the heart, not skin deep. There's more to that. You know, to me, patriotism is an expression of a natural sense of pride of our country's accomplishment and where we are, not just interpretation by some people based on race, color. That's incorrect. And that when you came up to me during my campaign at the border election, and to tell me that some of them got the gall to come to my face and tell me that I don't look American enough or patriotic enough. So that's what it makes my blood to boil over. Plus, of course, in addition to that, last year's Atlanta shooting, remember, Spa shooting, yes, and killed 6 Asians. And then Actually, the violence was spread up here. It might count in surrounding Asian American restaurants. And they came to me, asked me for, hey, Mr. Wong, can you help? Say something. You are a public official. So, I wasn't prepared. And I know that racism is a very tough subject to talk about. But I opened it and then I realized, wow, my foot is in the water now. It's deep now. I might as well dive in. So without a second thought, that's when I revealed my chest scar to show that, hey, what real Americanism is. Is it the basic way you look, or what? You salute the flag every day, you wrap around a flag on your face, on your head, or tattoo, you are more patriotic. So to me, that don't define what true Americanism is. Mm-hmm. True American, like I said, is an accomplishment, a sense of pride of a nation that we share together. What makes America great? To me, we are all immigrants that came here like a melting pot. And then, hey, we shake it out and have the best mind to come up with good ideas, invention for building this country, the brain power of Asians, of all minorities. It's like the best of the best. Yeah. This is why America is what is great. That I say is in our DNA, our greatness. It is really a very powerful nation that is great. We can all contribute. Our freedom is made of this, the prism of this, all the fabric of democracy that shaped together. So that's what makes our democracy, is good. It's not perfect. We are not in a perfect union by no means. Our constitution, yes, there's some flaws in it, but you know what? We try to make it a perfect union. I think we all participated, contribute. I always talk about participatory democracy. I learned that in the Army. You just don't sit there and expect something is going to land it on your lap. You're going to be promoted, what? Of your looks or what? You got to perform, got to participate, take the initiative to make it happen. Otherwise, that's not democracy. You need to get involved. I always teach younger generations that they get involved with local government. Or go to volunteer in a football game, collecting tickets, varsity football games. I have done all that. Even though I don't have sons playing in football, I'll go out to demonstrate for a cause. Like there was an unjustly termination of a scientist strictly because of some racial complaint that another person won her job, and it was terrible. And hey, I got out on the streets and demonstrate in front of a court, and it was reversed. In the end, we were right that we need to speak up. If we don't speak up, that's when bad things happen. Yeah, that's my opinion.
Absolutely. No, you said a lot of really powerful things in there. I mean, the one thing that kind of, I guess, really kind of stood out to me is that, we're certainly not a perfect country, but I think the important thing is to realize that a lot of people don't want to kind of understand that. And I think it's important to see maybe the issues that we have and how we can improve those. The thing I want to ask you too, just to kind of step back, and obviously your patriotism definitely shouldn't be questioned. My goodness. But what I want to ask you about with that is, how was your time in the Army when it came to that? Did you have any issues in the Army? Or my hope is that, whether doesn't really matter what you look like, if you're there to stand behind your brothers and sisters in arms, that it shouldn't really matter. I hope that's the case. But what was your time like with the Army when it comes to, I guess, those discrimination issues?
Well, I tell you what, the Army should treat me very fairly, like everyone else. In my company, there were Hispanic, African American of all races is in there. I think there was one Chinese American, me, there was one Korean American. That was it. And out of 200 people in there. But we were punished the same way. I know the Army is a controlled environment, and it forces us to learn to work in teamwork. Otherwise, you won't survive in combat if you don't have that teamwork camaraderie. So that instilled in us to work together to produce a result. They deliberately set us tasks that's almost impossible for one person to complete. So you must, how are you going to carry a 50 pounds ammo box load up on the trailer with one wheel across the river without touching it?
Right.
It requires a lot of teamwork, and you got over on the rope. So it's good training, both mentally and physically. Yeah. And I'm not recruiting for the Army, advocating for people to join the Army. It is a form of controlled violence, but sometimes one loose nut will go off the deep end. So, but overall, it's good training, we'll say.
Absolutely, for sure. And you kind of alluded to it a moment ago. I always like for people to kind of be able to tell their story in their own words rather than kind of lay it out. So, obviously we're speaking because you did kind of go, I guess the term is viral, for something that happened in a township meeting. Right. And it is, about the issues with Asian discrimination and with people speaking about, patriotism and what it means to be patriotic and how it really shouldn't matter at all what you look like. But tell us exactly what happened in that meeting, if you would.
Well, first of all, I would say that I have confronted by people asking, making little comments like, wow, Lee, your English is really good. Where are you really from? This kind of, small, soft talks. Mm-hmm. But you don't realize that in the end, they always marginalize us as foreigners, not American. Mm-hmm. That, yes, Asian are a model minority. Well, Mr. Liu Cheng and I, we discussed, we are all the same. We are not musical genius or getting straight A's in college or high school. I'm just average. Mm-hmm. It is difficult to talk about racism. Everybody got quiet if you see the video. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And when you talk about true racism, want to discuss, sit down and talk about it. No one wants to talk about. But then you got all this little chatting. Oh, wow, you are model minority. You, like I say, your English is pretty good. Or you are, where are you really from? These are very, there's a lot of implication in it. If you look at it, listen to it carefully, that they don't really accept you as who you are. Or if even one person asked me, after talk to me for 20 minutes about a job interview, oh, wow, you were in the Army, you're wonderful. After 20 minutes interview, you say, oh, Mr. Wong, which Army were you in? I was looking at myself like, am I red from my neck down today or something? But I was in U.S. Army. But this is the mentality. But in that meeting, yes, there was a lot of things penned up inside me. It was difficult. It was very difficult to get it out, as you can see in the beginning, that it was penned up 50 years of, I put up with a lot of, shit. Mm-hmm. Little shit like that.
Yeah.
I put up with it for 50 years and then I let it out. Yeah, I wouldn't even walk down the street to take my shirt off or go to the beach at without a shirt on. But it was just, I don't know what, it was just at that moment, something happened. When I start talking about it and I was getting really hot, that's when it got me, I think, that pent up emotions behind me. And The rest is just, it took over me.
Yeah.
But I wasn't planned to, on that part, to strip publicly on the TV. So I didn't even know that it went such a high impact. So until the next day, someone called me and said, "Hey, Lee, there are millions of people, your video, look, viewing it and ready and all that." I didn't believe it until they say, yeah, it is. Let me show you. But that's not what my aim. My aim is really just to do the right thing. Yes, I advocate for anti-Asian violence because we are all Americans, not the way how we look, how we talk, what we have an accent or whatever, or background. We are one human being. And therefore, I say that, you need to be kind and gentle to one another. I never call out a single person in that video. It was timeless. I would say timeless message. Yeah. That we need to be kinder to each other. We want to move on, survive.
Yeah. So what was it? What was it like once you did see that it had went viral? Obviously, you were exposing a pretty vulnerable part of what you had kept pent up. So now, what was it like knowing that millions of people saw, your message? And then also, the great thing about this is, I talk to people who have had viral videos many times. It's always, it's silly stuff. We need laughter as well, right. But to know that millions of people have seen a message that a lot of people probably hadn't even considered before, and that you had made such an impact on people.
Yes. Well, I would say that I still get emails every day from people all the way from Australia, Canada, worldwide, send it to me. I would say that it melts down my printer, that's for sure. And the first few months it was tough. There was a lot of requests for interview worldwide, even Australian TV. But some of the comments were very good. One Twitter was from former Prime Minister of Australia, Kelvin Rudd, RUDD. He said silence is consent to racism. That was a good one. And you say, he's right. So many people today, they don't want to sit down and talk, to work things out. They all have an opinion. They're going to be penned up inside them. I have no problem. I'm open. What's your problem? But some of them got pushed to the edge. That gun violence, pushing Asian American into a subway station. Every day attack in New York City, Boston, California. So in fact, I'll be making a trip over there again end of this month to talk about it. In commemoration of Vincent Chin, who was killed in Detroit because of the Toyota fiasco, that he was killed, baseball bat to death. So I'll be out there speaking with the mayor of Boston about that, because I'm also the national spokesman for Chinese American Heritage Foundation. So I do, because of that video of my, what you call maybe a little celebrity status, 15 minutes of fame, but I will use that as a vehicle to get the message out that we need to be kinder and gentler to one another and work together for a better country, a better nation. Because like I said, in the bottom end line, we are all the same. We are American, no matter where you go. You know what? They told me, go back to China. Why do I go to China? I don't have parents over there that passed away. This is my home here. Yeah. This is where I belong, not elsewhere. I don't see you tell a Canadian guy, whatever, European guy, go back to Europe and all that nonsense. We are all in this together. Like it or not, we got to get along.
Absolutely, for sure. And I'm glad that most of the comments that you received were were positive and coming from some pretty high places. But obviously, when you put yourself out there and you kind of make yourself a little bit of a spokesman for, anti-discrimination causes, there's a lot of not so great people out there too that see that as a target. So have you dealt with any of that now that you're kind of more vocal in that world, that you've dealt with more discrimination from some of the lesser people of our country?
Well, I would say that if you think racism is going away, you're dreaming. Yeah. It's been here since the founding of this country. I learned that, and it's not going away. You need to be vigilant. You need to participate, to work together, educate the younger generations that we are all one race. We need to be more civilized, and together we can accomplish anything. Not it's teamwork, just like the Army taught me. That individualism, you got problems. That this is not what the founding fathers' Constitution says so. So we are together. We need to work together to make it a more perfect union. Now, of course, we have flaws. Our country have made some grave errors. Okay, from Japanese internment, from slavery, Chinese Exclusionary Act that was 6 decades long, that you can marry a non-Chinese, you cannot own property, special tax on you, you got to carry an ID card, work a minimum wage. This is a stain of America's soul. We make mistakes, okay? But like I say, they are trying to get better. I'm hopeful that America will be great. And again, that if we all work together to be the leader of democracy, and I think we can do it. But it must take all the people, not, like I said earlier, a few, narrow interpretation of what true Americans should be. That's wrong. What patriotism is, that's wrong. They are not patriots. They are just radicals. So
yeah. And I want to ask you probably the toughest question, because just like you mentioned that, racism is never going to completely go away. We're always going to have people who aren't able to be persuaded. The toughest question is what can we do about it? What can we do to help with this? Because I just see that a lot of people, maybe if it isn't affecting them, then they don't worry about these type of things. I think, and I'll tell you my tie into this and why your talk has resonated so much with me. And it's something that me growing up as a white person and somebody who didn't really ever deal with any of this, that I've learned a lot from, and definitely after COVID. And that is that my fiance is Asian. She's Filipino. Never anything that I would have ever dreamt of to even think about any kind of discrimination, because I grew up in that privilege. But then after COVID, and obviously, clearly people don't know, but Filipinos look very different than Chinese. Even if you're trying to be discriminatory towards Chinese people because of the whole COVID thing, which is silly in its own right, but that's just so silly too that you can't even distinguish different people. So that's my tie-in. But what can we do about all of this?
Well, people must realize that when they say Asian American, not all Asian American get along. You're talking about Korean, Japanese, Vietnamese, Filipinos, of course, Burmese, Indians. There are so many different income level, different educational level. Now, what I think that they can do better in our country, in our state, let's say, just to the small level. Nobody agency need to just. I don't want to pick on any particular agency. They can start program that reach out to the community, such as the police, the FBI. That some of them have very bad reputation and need to reach out, that people can trust. that will report crimes and work together to solve this problem. Not, black against white, white against black, and one against killing each other. Nobody wins. It is, they need to work together, spend some money, funding to educate, to sit down, have people talk, throw some coffee, cookies, big deal. Rent at least a space. No one do that. As the chairman of the chamber, we have done that. Done a lot of that. Mr. Liu Chang and I, this is out of our own private or non-profit organization. But I don't see government throw money in it, funding this.
Yeah. That really speaks volumes to me. Just having a conversation and understanding each other is always a big thing. Again, I'll tell you another example of something that I never even thought about, but it's because I was involved in having a conversation. Here in Indianapolis, definitely on the south side of Indianapolis, we have a really large Burmese population, very large. I think it's one of the largest Burmese populations that's compacted in the whole country. And a conversation that I was having in one of in my day job, which I always kind of leave to the side, but it's in education. I was having a conversation with some Burmese leaders, and I had no idea the things that, impacted that community without speaking. And one big thing is for the Burmese population sometimes struggles with that law enforcement side of things, because think about why the Burmese population came here. It's because they were
abused by the system over there. Police.
So now they don't trust necessarily the government here, but we never even figured that out, and why we were having so much issues with, getting Burmese people involved, because they were hesitant to get involved. So without that conversation, we would have never even figured that out.
That's right. That's why I told the police here, FBI, that you need to build trust. Reach out to the community, talk to them about hate crimes. I would say that Cincinnati office do have an agent that's doing a fantastic job. That the Asian American actually, and but there's other office nationwide is still quite primitive in that field. So I got to say they got to start someplace. To get involved, to build trust with the citizen. They need to reach out. That because these immigrants from countries, like I said, they're abused by the system, by the police. That's why they do not trust them. Never talk to a cop, report a crime. So it is difficult. I have to. So it is. We've done that. Then you have another issue. Is lately I spoke to a lot of big corporations about this subject, and I was shocked by some high-level engineers that they say, hey, when it comes to data security, they have policies that really offend us, they exclude us. How do you resolve that? It was I say Mr. Liu Chang and I we figure it out. It is data security, the breacher. They don't care what race you are. If you are a disgruntled employee, he will sell your data out to someone else. So your company need to treat people better, need to treat them fairly, regardless of race. You don't really have to worry about data security breaching based because of race. That is totally discriminatory. We were discussing all this during the Asian American Hawaii Islanders Heritage Month celebrate, talking about diversity. I don't see too many high-level executives sitting there. It's all Asian American. Where is your boss? There's nothing's going to change. If your executive sit in the ivory tower, they need to come, sit down and talk and listen. And our chamber can be very effective to guide them through that process. Yeah. So I think that's another area that need to work on in corporate.
Absolutely, for sure. And we've talked about the negative aspects of things and the reason that you've had to be so busy. Let's talk about some of the positive aspects of what you're doing. You're ahead of the Chinese Chamber in the Midwest, I believe. Talk about some of the impactful things that the Chamber have been able to do and what you've been able to do outside of that as well.
Well, that would take out, in a nutshell, we have established sister city, friendship city with China, with Cincinnati, Westchester. We also have a city, friendship city or sister city in China to do business. Mm-hmm. We breach the gap. And they came, in fact, the Consul General was just here. Believe it or not, Ohio is the third largest trading partner with China today. They just pick a site already here, going to build a $1.3 billion lithium battery plant. That's thousands of jobs. And they came here to meet with Cincinnati mayor, myself, GE. It was wonderful. So there's a lot of work to be done. I know that they're eager to buy in container shipped back to China, eager to buy your products, our products. There's a lot of misinformation that they're not here to occupy us, attack us. They're here to make money, just like everyone else. We make money too, by doing trade business. And Mr. Liu Chang can really get into that e-commerce. He do that very well. That's why he's the executive director of our chamber, all the way from Pittsburgh to Chicago to Wisconsin. This is all a part of our whole Midwest USA under our chamber. And Cincinnati that's the origin of chamber, believe it or not, in US. By President Taft, Howard Taft. That's why it was created.
I didn't know that. That's really cool for sure. So where do you hope that the things that you're doing, where do you hope that you're at in 5 years with all this? Obviously there's a ton of things to tackle and you could spend a whole nother lifetime tackling it, but where do you hope to get things in the next few years?
Well, I hope that one of the hardest things is to get corporation or government agency to put where the mouth is. Oh, they want diversity and all that, talk a good line. Show me. If there is no funding, nothing can happen. It takes time and energy and money to travel. Like we travel to Boston out of our own pocket. It's we need to set up a fund. If you don't want to do it, contribute to our chamber. We will do it. That we can make it happen. I would say that I even set up a Patriot fund, and so people can go up there. I can go up there to advocate for better rules, for better community with the legislator, if that needed, or to educate communities in a sensible way, like how we are talking. So.
Yeah. No,
we are not radicals. We are just, common folks.
Absolutely, for sure. And that kind of is a good wrap up point. But I do want you to tell us how people can connect with you, with the cause. You mentioned about the chamber and maybe that other fund. Tell us how people can interact with you.
Yeah, people can always reach me. Email is leewong229@gmail.com. And you can always reach me at those places, or the Midwest USA Chinese Chamber of Commerce is on the website. And or just write me to the township, Westchester Township. We have look it up at the township. My name, email is all in there. On my Facebook, look it up. I'm an open book. We very easy to find me. So like you found me.
I did. And I'm glad that I did. It's been a really powerful conversation. I've really, really appreciated your time. Yeah, I learned a lot, and I think a lot of listeners did as well. So I really appreciate you.
So. I would love to hear the feedback. Thank you.
Absolutely. So that was Lee Wong. Really, really appreciated his time. So glad he shared his story with us. It's a powerful one. Learned so much. I hope you did too. I just like I told him, it's a topic that I don't know a ton about. I really appreciated him sharing. I have this podcast to become a more informed person, to be a better person, and I hope that listening to this has helped you in understanding and maybe becoming maybe slightly better as well. I think that we all have a lot of learning to do. We have a lot of things that make us different, but we have a lot of things that make us the same too, just like Lee said, and it's about finding those common grounds and finding ways to respect each other, love each other, all that kind of stuff. So I really, really appreciate Lee's time. Go check him out, whether it's the Midwest Chinese Chamber of Commerce. I'll put that website in the show notes, whether it is with his Westchester Township, whether it's just reaching out to him to ask a question. He gave that information too. I know that he would be more than willing to answer the questions that you have. And of course, check us out. If this is the first time listening, please do go give those 5 stars on Apple and on Spotify. Both of those will accept those 5-star ratings. On Apple, you can also leave a written review. Always appreciate that. Go follow us on Instagram, Not Enough Podcast, Facebook, Not Enough with Jackson Huff. We've got a page pretty much everywhere. Always appreciate that. Let me know what you think of this interview and all the other ones in the past, 90 plus, and all the ones that are coming up, which are some really amazing people too. So appreciate you being here. Appreciated Mr. Wong being here. Take it away, Chris.
This has been Not in a Huff with Jackson Huff. Thank you for listening. Be sure to join us next time, where we will interview another amazing guest who is sure to make you laugh or make you think. Or, hey, maybe even both. But until then, keep being awesome.